All right, quick channeled message. Okay. If this is for you, you could have recently put like a blanket in your car, or you have one in your vehicle, or like something could have happened to where like a small thing that you got delivered was stolen or something like that. Or this is a warning, okay? That like say you have something delivered at like 12 and it's like you can go out and get it at 12:30 and it's like not there. So there's something coming through about like being aware of like porch pirates that take your shit within the first 30 minutes of it being dropped off. I don't know who that's for, but hopefully it helps somebody, okay? But the actual message has to do with like, I guess this is a two-parter. I don't know. I'll post more videos today obviously, but like I was getting that like somebody like the collective's nervous system is regulating like actually, and the way that you can tell this is happening is that when you start to feel safe doing things that did not feel safe before, like just random things. And it's sort of say you're somebody who always gets like a spike of anxiety before you go in the grocery store, or a spike of anxiety before you drive, or like, if it's the beginning of the week and you usually are like anticipating all the events of the week, and it gives you this sense of dread, right? It's like all of a sudden you don't feel any of that. It's like neutral, if not neutral. Like it's like you feel neutral about certain things, and it's not a numbness. It's sort of just like a, it is what it is, like, um and there's this sense of like, I want to say this like underlying pleasure in regards to your life as a whole. So it's kind of like random, I want to say like inconsistencies, or just like I don't know, like responsibilities or things that at some point in time would have gotten you kind of like I want to say like up in a tizzy or whatever. You just like don't feel like your heart rate like physically is not increasing. Like you just are staying very calm and level without even needing to like overthink it too much, in regards to a lot of things. And this could even apply to like, say you have a lovely singing voice, but when you're by yourself, maybe even just like sing or hum to yourself just casually, right? And maybe it's to the point where you're so afraid to sing in front of other people that like, even if you were like with the love of your life, and person that you spend all your time with and you trust them, you still found it you like almost impossible to like sing in front of that person. Or it could even be like dancing, like it could even be like you were embarrassed to even dance by yourself, okay? And there's something about like in regards to this nervous system regulation that's happening to where you're not feeling like that anymore. It's like this sort of sense of like inner child freedom. You know how kids kind of like I do want to put a clause of saying like kids that are treated right and like don't have this like harsh stuff projected upon them by their guardians or whatever. I have to say that as a kid who did have that or whatever. But healthy and well taken care of kids who like they aren't like embarrassed, by expressing pure joy, or like they're not as embarrassed by things that like we, I guess, have learned to perceive as like cringy or embarrassing things. They just like pursue their like interest, curiosity, and pure joy. Like they are lacking the sort of like awareness, and it's not about that, but like I don't know, it's just that like there's something is like missing that would lead them to overthink certain situations. They just sort of like they kind of go with their gut and their intuition and like their emotion and follow their bliss. And there's something about like that could be a thing too. Like, in the morning before you go somewhere, you may feel like something is missing. Like you're like, I feel kind of like naked today, or like, am I missing something? Am I like, that I need to take with me? And it's almost like you're missing the weight that was on your back since you were a kid, basically. And this will allow you to actually enjoy your life more. Like it's giving sort of thing like, say you have always dreamed of being able to, I don't know, do like community theater or something. You always thought it would be so great, but maybe you were so afraid to enter a new space, get to know new people, even like go in to inquire about it, and even to be on like stage crew or whatever. And like, and that was like a thing that was impacting your emotional fulfillment and like your life's like your life joy or whatever, because of that fear. and that is gone, like, or you will notice it fading. And if it's not gone yet and you're like, this isn't true, take these messages as like accept it so that it can manifest for you, basically, okay? But yeah, it's like anything that was like causing fear or anxiety to be projected onto things that were supposed to like make your life more fulfilling, I guess, you know, that is being removed so that you can actually enjoy your life. Hooray. But it's giving like, these could have been things that were fear, like clouded in fear and stuff like that since you were like a child, like if you've always wanted, like, again, going to that like being on stage thing, if that's always been a dream of yours but you've always been held back by your fear, you're going to notice that fear is fading, especially if it's in regards to something that's in alignment with your like purpose and your path and your like higher inner truth. Anything that is holding you back or preventing you from like pursuing those things, include like especially like the you know the imprisonment of your own mind, like that's gone. It is no more. And so I guess, okay, in the process of this is a confirmation or just like whatever, there could be people around you who start to say things to you that you've never heard before, or that is like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, say before people had this perception of you that you were insecure, or and then, or like, weak or something like that, or like you didn't love yourself or something like that. um Especially like toxic people around you who are like, oh, you don't love yourself enough, or you don't take good enough care of yourself, or like you're blah 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 whatever, or like, oh, you're not motivated enough, you're like too lazy, okay? This is what they used to say about you, regardless of if that was true or not. That's irrelevant, okay? But that's what people used to say. And now you may notice like it's switching to like, oh, you care too much about your appearance. You're paying too much attention to like superficial things. Oh, you like are focusing on the wrong things now, or like, oh, you care too much about this, or you care too much about that, or like you're being too full of yourself, or like you're being too ambitious, or like you're not focusing on like, again, it's giving that like somebody's like, oh, they're trying to make it seem like you're ambitious, like ambition or whatever, or your goals are like negative now. So there's like this weird switch between people like treating you and viewing you as someone like weak, and versus now like they're like, oh, now you're doing too much. So if people are saying that you're doing too much, you're doing perfect. Don't change a thing. Don't feel like you need to shrink yourself or like apologize either, because it's giving that like a large parts of the collective were going through like, I almost want to say like chronic, almost lifelong depression, and then you snap out of it, and then all of a sudden you like are paying more attention to your appearance, and you're like taking care of yourself, and now people want to like call you vapid and vain and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to like cuss on here a lot, but like literally F those people, okay? Just because they're like threatened by you, again, like, they were so comfortable like dissing you or whatever, disparaging you, when they like to claim that you were in a low place or whatever, and they love to criticize you either to your face internally or behind your back or whatever. And then, now they're crashing out because you are becoming too full of yourself or getting too big for your britches. I am someone who hates like cliches, but I always channel them because I think my like spirit team thinks it's funny for me to channel them or whatever. But yeah, it's giving like, oh, the people used to categorize you as someone with like, what is it, like fallen potential or whatever, or like you didn't fulfill your potential, and now you are like, say that the potential they thought you would reach was like, oh, hitting a 6-figure salary in some like, I don't know, acceptable like field of study or whatever, and now instead you were like forced to like, I don't know, start your own business or like do something else or whatever that was like more in alignment with your like higher and inner truth, or your like your talents or something like that. And now you were like, on track to be making, I don't know, 6 figures a quarter or something like that. And now people are like, oh, you're doing too much and you're getting too full of yourself. But why would you stop? You're not supposed to stop. And if you're becoming like they're becoming uncomfortable by your success, know that you're not going to be in those spaces for much longer anyway. So